Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Daniel Essick, and this is Podcast for Life. Good, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Daniel Essick. This is Podcast for Life. And this afternoon, we are going to be exploring. Now, before we get started, I would like to say my thank yous. Thank you to uh, Kira, who sent me 100 V coins. Thank you very much. And I also like to mention Aaron. I'm sorry I missed you, but hopefully you'll be seeing my podcast later on. Ladies and gentlemen, every one of you that is watching me right now, that have been watching me week in and week out, I thank you for your loyalty, and I thank you for your spending your time with me today. Uh, I hope I'm being entertaining, and I hope I'm being informative. If I'm doing both, I can consider myself a success. Now, those of you that are on Get Vocal, let me invite you to hit one of the squares that say grab this spot. We are allowing guests today. And if you're not on Get Vocal, if you're on Facebook, or if you're on YouTube, or if you're on uh, any one of the other uh, apps and you're seeing me live, and right now it is 4 o'clock on the 30th. What you can do is, if there's a chat option, you can use that. If there is no chat option, you can call in. The phone number to call in is 606 545 2019. Just call in, I'll answer the phone and put you right on the air. I don't have a call screener, so it's we're both taking a chance. With that in mind, I trust you, my audience, and I hope you're coming to trust me. Okay, now today we're going to be talking about time management. So, who hasn't said, I don't have enough time in the day? There's only 24 hours in a day. I can't make any more. I can't do anymore. Or maybe you're saying, I can't get through the day. The day's too long. I don't have enough to do. Well, whether you got too much to do, too little to do, or whatever, it may just be a simple matter of organizing your time, budgeting your time. We all allow time to get away from us once in a while. We sleep in too late, we get up too early. Whatever we do what we do. There are many reasons why we fail to do good time management. Now, what are some of the things that we can do? Well, there are ways that we can think about how much we can accomplish when we truly focus upon our goals. Prioritizing and matching tasks to blocks of available time is one way to do more with less. The idea is to make it less effort. A lot of times, effort and thought that is very simple. Instead of trying to do deep work, complete a minor task. This frees up larger blocks of time for projects that require concentration. If you find an extra hour of productivity in your day, try using your time wisely. That gives you additional work hours every year and every month. Make work more fulfilling and life meaningful. Be in the moment. When you're in the moment, you're just worried about that one moment. You're not worried about what's about to happen or what has happened. The thing is to be in the moment, to be mindful of what you're doing and how you're getting along. There's nothing more frustrating than spending a day being completely busy, but also entirely unproductive. A feeling of accomplishment helps you stay motivated. At home, this translates into being able to relax and enjoy your time. By being conscious of how you use time, you'll have more of it to spend on things you love. Then we come to indecisiveness. We just don't know what to do, don't know what's more important than what. That's okay. Don't worry, because worrying about whether you've made the right choice is time consuming. Naturally, big decisions take up a lot of time, but small decisions you make every day can be a huge time waster. Deciding what to do next on your to do list can have a major time cost. Instead of looking at your to do list, wondering what to tackle, create a plan. This keeps you from using your precious minutes and questioning what you should do next. To achieve goals faster, many people have big goals, but without the understanding of the importance of time management, these goals could sit on the shelf indefinitely. For example, one of your goals may be to lead a healthier lifestyle, but you can't seem to carve out time for gym sessions. Chances are the time you need already exists. You just have to find it. By making the time to attend to your health, you can make necessary and desirable changes quickly. Now, that's another thing about being in the moment. If you have big goals, sometimes it may be difficult to know what the steps are. So give it some thought. And instead of going after the big goals, let's carve that big goal and then let's make smaller goals that we do know how to get to. And then when we work at the smaller goals, the bigger goals will come. You need to boost your confidence. Time management gets better with practice, and it can improve your confidence. The more likely you are to take care of yourself properly, you look and feel more put together before you even set foot in a workspace. In addition, you get regular boosts from feeling a sense of accomplishment. Meeting your deadlines and exceeding expectations is a huge motivator. On the flip side, failing to meet deadlines and struggling to keep up leads to burnout. If you are working and it seems like you're working endlessly and you start getting tired, get up, take a break, walk around, get something to eat, have a cup of coffee, get away from it for a minute. If you're feeling overwhelmed, you're not doing anybody any good trying to keep up with it. Get up, take a break, take 5 minutes to yourself. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, taking breaks actually can make you more productive. Also, if you have more energy, you can achieve more. It, feeling worn out and stressed makes it hard to take on new challenges. An efficient workflow gives you the time to build new skills and improve your work. How much more exciting would life be when you feel energized? With a boost of energy, you're more likely to try a new hobby, adventure, instead of planting yourself on the couch. Well, there's nothing wrong with sitting on the couch watching a good movie or a ball game. There's a time and a place for that. When it's time to work, it's time to work. When it's time to play, it's time to play. And you need to plan those times. Oh, I'm going to sit here and do 3 hours worth of work. And then I'm going to sit down for an hour. I'm going to watch this ball game. Right. There you go. 4 hours out of the day. What are you going to do with the rest of the time? Another thing you can do is make more time to do things you love. After you consider the amount of time that it takes for you to sleep, work, eat, commute, and attend to your personal hygiene, you have about 4 hours a day to devote to things you do for fun. By learning how to manage your time, you'll have more opportunities to work on personal growth, spend time with family or and friends, or be of service to your community. Quality time is priceless. Make the most of your time. When you're resting, rest. Make the most of it. Do things you enjoy doing. When it's time to work, work. What do you need to get done? What is most important to be done today? What's most important to be done right now? Do you have deadlines? How are we doing on those deadlines? If you got really late, you're not feeling very well about it. But if you sit down and spend 10 minutes to plan out your day, plan out what you're going to do. I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this. You'll find that you'll get so wrapped up in the work, time will fly by, and then you'll have it done, and you'll probably have it done ahead of schedule. You need to reduce stress and avoid feeling overwhelmed. We touched on this before. When you're feeling overwhelmed or a little stressed, get up, take a walk around the room. Take a walk around, look in the mirror, sit there, think to yourself, plan it out, think it out. Okay, I gotta take the pen, I gotta write this letter, and then I gotta put it in the envelope, put it in the mail. Okay, there you go. There's 5 steps right there. Go do it. Probably take you 5 minutes to do that. When you're budgeting your time, make sure you budget plenty of time. So even though it takes 5 minutes to do it, plan on it taking 10 minutes. Time isn't an infinite resource for us. By becoming excellent at time management, everyone can make the most of the time they're given. Failing to manage your time, a lot of time wasted, and you can never get it back. Succeeding opens a world of possibilities. By sharpening your time management skills, you can expect to be more confident and effective at work. You will feel a strong sense of purpose when you produce your best. You'll also have more time to spend with your family, take care of your own health and wellness. Overall, you'll drastically improve your life. There are practical ways to improve your time management skills drastically, and we will touch more on this in a moment. Effective time management leaves you energized, which translates into living life fully and trying new and exciting things that you found in your day. Procrastination is the one evil of time management because procrastination steals your time away. You can sit there and be so much in thought that you realize you're there 3, maybe 4 hours. That doesn't do anybody any good. It really doesn't. Okay, now I found this on the internet. 11 time management tips that work. Now I'm going to be looking at this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be looking at this. And I'm going to be reading from this webpage. And we're going to go through each one of these 11 things that help. Number one, realize that time management is a myth. It is the first thing that you have to understand about time management is no matter how organized we are, there are always only 24 hours in a day. Time doesn't change. All we can actually manage is ourselves and what we do with that time that we have. Appreciate this, internalize it, and move on as soon as possible to the next tip. Okay, now time management is a myth in that we're trying to manage time. We're not trying to manage time, and we're not going to let time manage us. What we are going to do is we're going to form a cooperative relationship with time. We're going to organize ourselves, and we're going to budget our time, just like we budget our money. There's 24 hours in a day. That's all we got to work with. We need 2 hours to do this, 3 hours to do that, 8 hours of sleep, maybe 15 minutes to brush our teeth. Go through your day. Write down everything you have to do and how long it takes. Subtract that from 24, and you'll see what kind of time you have left. And then as you budget your time, and go ahead and write it down. It's good to write things down. I write down everything. As you write it down, you'll you'll see where you fill up your day. Now, a lot of what I do is I'm running pretty much on an appointment schedule. My appointments revolve around 24-hour clock. I have time that I sleep, I have time that I bathe, I have time that I eat, and I have time that I spend with this one and that one. I also carve out time to serve others. I don't have a lot of time to waste. So the more organized I am, the more I can plan my day, the better I like it. Okay, number two, find out where you're wasting time. Many of us are prey to time wasters that steal time, which could be using much more productively. What are your time bandits? You spend too much time internet surfing, reading email, Facebook posting, texting, or making personal calls. Now, when it comes to one of my big time wasters is getting the news. Once I get into it, I want to follow it to wherever it leads. But what I've done is I sit there and I have 1 hour a day that I do my news. That's all I allow myself is 1 hour a day. I can do whatever I want, trying to find news and read news stories and following up with it. But I only have 1 hour a day to do that. The rest of the day's doing other things. In a survey by Salary.com, 89% of the respondents to wasting time every day at work. 31% waste roughly 30 minutes a day. 31% waste roughly an hour. 16% waste about 2 hours. 6% waste 3 hours. 2% waste roughly about 4 hours. And 2% waste 5 or more hours daily. And 5 or more hours in an 8 hour a day, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time wasted. I don't suppose those people are very productive at all. 30 minutes, I can understand that. Are you a time waster? Tracking daily activities help to form an accurate picture of how much time you spend on various activities, which is the first step to effective time management. Yeah, if you find out where you are right now, keep a log of your normal day. Keep a log for a week. Don't try to make any big changes right away. Just log your time. When you do something, log it, how much time you did at it. At the end of the week, you go over the list. You might be surprised how much time you actually wasted. That's how I identified a lot of time that I was wasting. And the thing is, it also helps to make you more mindful of when you are wasting time as you're going through your day. Hey, time management goals. Number 3. Remember, the focus of time management is actually changing your behaviors, not changing time. A good place to start is by eliminating your personal time wasters for 1 week. For example, set a goal that you're not going to take on personal phone calls or respond to non work related text messages while you are working. Now, the thing is I've worked for bosses that have prohibited personal business in the workplace. Now, I've also worked for bosses that allowed some personal phone calls. Now, I've never been one to take personal calls at work. And usually, when I do get a personal call at work, if it's not an emergency, I'll sit there and say, okay, I'll call you back. And then I deal with it then. When I'm working for somebody else and somebody else is paying me for my time, that person is deserving of my full attention. When it is my time, then I can do what I want, when I want, how I want. And the thing is what I do is I'm mindful as well as far as the value of my time. My personal time is every bit as critical and valuable as my work time. So when I'm at work, I'm mindful that I got this amount of money for each hour coming in. And when I'm off work, I'm mindful that I got this much time, this much money for this time going out. If you create your personal time like you're spending money, it'll help increase your appreciation for yourself. It'll help you appreciate your time off more because you are getting in the mindset of you're spending your money buying you back your time. And after all, isn't that what freedom is or what liberty is being able to choose what you do with your time and money? Number 4, implement a time management plan. Think of this as an extension of the 1/3 time management tip. The objective is to change your behaviors over time to achieve whatever general goal you set for yourself, such as increasing your productivity or decreasing your stress. So you need to not only set your specific goals, but track them over time to see whether or not you're accomplishing them. That's always good. That's why it's good to write things down. At the beginning of the week, you write down your time budget for the week. These are the things I'm going to do each day through the week. And then at the end of the week, you go over your budget and go over what you actually did. And then you'll see yourself getting better at keeping that schedule. And then once you see yourself keeping that schedule better, you'll get more energized and you'll get feeling like you accomplished, like you begin to accomplish something. And you are. You're getting better at what you're doing. Use time management tools is number 5. Whether it's a day timer, software program, or phone app, first step to physically managing your time is know where it's going now and planning how you're going to spend your time in the future. Scheduling your events easily can remind you of events in advance, making your time management easier. Now, I use the calendar app on my phone, and I also use the to do app on my phone. Between the calendar and the to do apps, uh, it seems like I manage my time pretty well. The calendar app is where I'm budgeting my time, and the to do list is just that. It's stuff that I need to do, but I'm not really set to a schedule on that. So when I have a few extra minutes and I want to tackle something, I go to the to do list. Okay, what's the most important thing I need to do right now? And don't take on more than what you feel you can. Always leave a little bit of room for error and err on the side of caution. Number 6 is prioritize ruthlessly. You should start each day with a session, prioritizing the tasks for that day and setting your performance benchmark. If you have 20 tasks for a given day, how many of them do you truly need to accomplish? Oftentimes, when we start a project, we think that it's got 20, 30, 40 steps. And then when we get into it, we start thinking, well, wait a minute now, I can do this and skip over this. Okay, well, let's go ahead and do it. Hopefully, it'll work out. If you think it'll work out, that'll be good. Good to take shortcuts once in a while. But what you don't want to do is take a shortcut that uh, takes away from the quality of the work. So when you do take a shortcut, be careful with it, be cautious with it, and be confident with it. If you're not confident about taking a shortcut, don't do it. Do it the long way. It's okay. If you go over budget in one point, you'll save time in another point. Number 7 is learn to delegate and outsource. Delegation is one of the hardest things to learn how to do for many business owners. But no matter how small your business, there's no need for you to be a one person show. Even if you're an individual, you can have aides and associates. You need to let other people carry some of the load. Delegation shares the tasks. You'd be better off leaving to someone else so you can make the most of the time that you have. And the thing is I would reword that because I would sit there and say delegation. You give somebody else the bulwark so that you can have more time to do the things that you love. There's nothing wrong with having an assistant or an associate or whatever you want to call them. Somebody that you can depend on to get things done. Somebody that, hey, you go do this and that you know it'll get done. Have that kind of trust back and forth with each other. That's great. You can help them with what they have. They can help you with what you have. Now, the thing is, if you can afford it, I would say put them on the payroll. Workman is worthy of his hire. And if they're helping you make money, they deserve a share of it. Number 8 is establish routine and stick to them as much as possible. While crises will arise, you'll be much more productive if you can follow routines most of the time. For most people, creating and following a routine lets them get right down to the tasks of the day rather than frittering away time getting started. Now, if you spend the evening planning out your next day and you write it down, then the next day when you get up, you pick up that list, you go over it, you pray over it, and you be able to stick to it. It'd be easier to stick to it. That's why you write things down so that you can remember. Number 9, get in the habit of setting time limits for tasks. For instance, reading and answering email can consume your whole day if you let it. Instead, set a limit of an hour a day for this task and stick to it, like me and my newspapers. The easiest way to do this is to assign a solid block of time to this task rather than answering email on demand. Try not to do anything on demand. If you have a couple extra minutes, it's okay to check it again. But when it comes to emails, phone calls, newspapers, things that really belong in a routine, then they should be blocked off at the point that you feel is most productive. And you got to stick to it. It's very tempting when you're in it to sit there and say, yeah, just 5 more minutes, Mom. No, it's not 5 more minutes. You don't have 5 more minutes. When it's time to stop and do something else, it's time to stop and do something else. You need to move on time. And if you're running late, you need to catch up. Number 10, be sure your systems are organized. Are you wasting a lot of time looking for files on your computer? Take the time to organize a file management system. Is your filing system slowing you down? Redo it so it's organized. Quickly lay your hands on what you need. Oh, my filing system is like 10 files deep. But the thing is it's a lot faster than looking through massive lists of unrelated material. All I have to do, I can probably get to any file on my computer within 2 minutes. And if you can do that, you're doing good. You got to give yourself 2 minutes to get a file on a computer, you know, and it comes up quick enough. So don't waste time waiting from client meetings to dentist appointments. It's impossible to avoid waiting for someone or something, but you don't need to just sit there and twiddle your thumbs. Technology makes it easy to work wherever you are. Your tablet or smartphone will help you stay connected. You can be reading a report, checking a spreadsheet, or planning your next marketing campaign. The thing is, there's always something to do. If somebody's running late, that's okay. You can get into something else, you know, and yeah, phone can be your best friend if you're not at a computer. Nowadays, with these smartphones, you can do virtually everything you can on your phone that you can on the computer. It's just a little more difficult because you get that small keyboard, but it can be done. And sometimes it may take a little longer, but if you're sitting there waiting on somebody, it's good. Keeps you busy, gets things done. Don't worry about it. Yeah, if it takes a minute or two longer, you may save an hour down the road while you're waiting a half hour for this guy to call you in. And number 12, your time belongs to you. Here is the most important time management tip of all. You can be in control and accomplish what you want to accomplish. Once you've come to grips with all the time management myths, taking taking control of your time. You take control of your time. Your time. You give it to your business. You give it to your friends. You give it to your family. Don't forget to spend time giving it to yourself. Things can be better. Things can be good. Time management doesn't have to be scary or pie in the sky or something that you can consider unachievable because it is fully achievable. Your goals are achievable. Even if you do set them, if you want to be the first man on the moon since the 1960s, work towards it. Well, you might not make it there, but the thing is, that means any less worth trying. Set your goals, set yourself achievable goals toward that big goal. Everyone should have one big goal in their life. And then from there, you set smaller goals. And then from there, you set smaller goals. And you keep setting smaller goals until you have achievable goals. And then you set a deadline for those achievable goals. And then you also consider the steps to get to those goals and set timelines for that. How much time do you need to do this or that? It can all be done, and we can all do it. We can get there. And with the help of God, we will get there. It's just a matter of sticking to it, not procrastinating, managing our time well, and managing our money well. And we're going to explore these in future sessions. Today, we're working on time management. We're going to be working on other skills, budgeting, relationships. You can all help by being here, calling in, allowing me to answer your questions, asking the questions. Anytime you have a question you need to ask, the only stupid question is the one that's never asked. The intelligent people ask questions to get the answers. And when they ask the questions, they get the answers. They learn. And when they learn, they do. And that's what life is about. First you learn, then you do, then you teach. And you teach people the knowledge that you have. For in that is love. Love your fellow man. Not because he's anything special, but just because he's your brother or she's your sister. We are all God's children. We need to act like it. We need to show the love of God with everything that we do. We need to show each other love, not be afraid of each other. God is not a spirit of fear, but of love and honor and wisdom. Many great people in our past left us many great sayings. Jesus himself said, love one another as I have loved you. He showed us the way with his life and his death and his resurrection. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whomsoever believeth on him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Are you ready to accept the gift? Are you ready to accept Jesus? If you are, pick up the phone, call the pastor of your local church, and discuss it with them. Then what you can do, call in here, spread the news. I'd love to hear about that. I would love to hear about somebody making a decision for God, for Christ. For that is another soul going to heaven. But in the meantime, let us love one another as Christ loved us. Let us be there for each other. Let us love each other. Let us do for each other. Let us serve each other. For in service is blessings of God. And in love is adoration and the Spirit of God. Until next week, my name is Daniel Lessig, and this is Podcast for Life.